Galera, eu sou o professor Fabiano, professor Edilane. Today a gente vai fazer um exercise com vocês de comprehension, exercício de compreensão. Nós vamos contar um pouquinho sobre nossa história, de quando a gente chegou nos Estados Unidos, desde o aeroporto ali, qual que foi nossos primeiros 2, 3 dias lá.
Ok? Então, é só você prestar atenção, só você tentar entender ali pela nossa linguagem corporal, pegar as palavras-chave, tá? Usa as ferramentas que nós ensinamos até agora e vai tentando entender. Lembrando que o objetivo não é entender tudo, ok? Mas sim pegar ali algumas partes e tentar entender. Então vai ser uma conversa um pouco descontraída ali, tá? E nós vamos contar um pouco sobre as nossas experiências em inglês, ok? So you want to begin?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll begin. Okay. What I can remember before we went actually to the United States, about 3 months before, our parents told us that we were going. My brother Ademir was already in the United States, and my father was already in the United States. And Ademir sent us some money for like 3 months before we went. So he sent us some money for us to prepare for the trip. And I remember that I used to be called Mosquito. That was my nickname. Imagine. Mosquito.
You're very small.
Yeah. And in 3 months, I became like Homer Simpson. I didn't become Mosquito anymore. I gained a lot of weight. I was really chubby. What do you remember on those 3 months?
I remember you were Mosquito, and my nickname was Graveto. So you can imagine. I was also very skinny. We were very active.
Yeah.
We played a lot in the street. We played a lot outside. Every day we were running. He would play soccer. He would kick balls, play soccer. And I would ride my bicycle every single day. And after this, when we went to the United States, we changed our lifestyle completely. Yeah, I remember we grew up as apartment children. Like we would only stay inside, right?
Menino do prédio.
Yeah, exactly. Apartment girl, right? An apartment boy. He would play video games all day, and I would stay inside also. And he would, we would eat out a lot. We would go to movie theaters all the time, right? It was a completely different lifestyle from what normal Brazilian children had at the time. So when we were here in Brazil, we would play on the street, play outside. That's all we had to do.
Yeah, we never went to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
We never ate pizza because that was a luxury.
Here in Brazil.
And one thing that I remember a lot was the first day that we got to the United States. I mean, in the airplane was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we never flew in an airplane.
Yeah,
right?
It was the first time.
So it was amazing.
We were fighting over who would sit at the window.
On the window seat.
Yeah, he won, of course.
Sometimes. It would probably change.
I don't think so. No.
Our mother would probably make us change. Yeah,
I don't remember this.
Yeah,
I don't
she
think
did.
So.
And then I remember the first day whenever we got to, I think it was Miami Airport. I think we got to Miami Airport. And AJ, we will leave. We went through immigration, and we were waiting for my brother and my father that was waiting for us on the other side of immigration. And I remember we were talking in the airplane of what kind of car they had.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a mystery.
It was a mystery.
Right. For us, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Because it was our first car as a family. Here in
car.
Brazil, we didn't own a car. Right. So it was our first real car.
Yeah.
Right? So we were very excited. And I remember when we got off the plane and we got to the parking lot, I kept guessing which car was ours, right? We were like, oh, is this your car? Oh, is this your car? Until we actually got to the right car. It was parked very far away.
Yeah.
I remember we walked. It was a huge airport.
I don't know why.
Yeah, but we walked. It was very far. Do you remember what the car was?
Yeah, it was a red Toyota. It was Adamir's Toyota. And I remember when I got to the car, I don't know if it was that good looking. I don't know if it was a really good car at the time.
I don't think so, but we were amazed.
I was amazed. Like, oh my God. I remember I sat on the back seat, and this was late because our plane probably came in like 10, 11
Yeah,
o'clock
it
at
was
night.
really-
We were really tired. And we sat on the back seat.
Mhm.
And I remember it had power window. You know, you push the little button, the window go up and go down.
Mhm.
And I was so
Like the
amazed.
technology.
I was like, wow. I would tell her, like, Ed, ó, o carro do mano, a janela sobe automático. Ó.
It's like,
Like,
whoa.
I was so amazed with that situation.
Yeah.
Do you remember the ride to the house?
Yeah, I remember. Inside the car, my dad, he bought me a present. I remember
Yeah.
this. Inside the car, he already gave me, it was a little doll with a crib, right? And little accessories. And I was playing with it. Like, I was so sleepy. Like, I would be kind of sleeping and kind of playing with it. But it was a very exciting day. And I remember we arrived home. And we went straight to see our rooms where we would be sleeping. Ademir had already bought me some toys in advance, right?
Yeah.
He's a great brother, right?
Yeah,
He
so-
bought me some toys in advance, some puppets.
Yeah, they
Put
were
on
waiting
my
there
hands.
on the room.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I remember when we got to the house was beautiful. I mean, it was, for us, it was like amazing.
Mansion.
I thought we were millionaires. I was like,
Yeah.
we're rich. Like,
yeah.
Ademir made it. My dad made it. We're rich. And I think Ademir, my father and Ademir worked on a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, Ademir was like a waiter. And my dad was like bussing tables, like busboy. And I was so amazed.
So you
I
would
was
be
so impressed.
Cleaning tables.
Yeah, he was cleaning
and-
table, taking off glasses from the table,
Yeah.
right? And I remember in our room, because whenever we got to the airport, my dad gave her a present, and he told me, he's like, "Oh, I have a surprise for you at the house." And the whole ride, I think, was like 3-hour rides from Miami to Tampa. And it was at night, and I remember I'll fall asleep, and I would just imagine, like, I was so happy. I don't know how I didn't like had a heart attack before I thought. Like, imagine,
Yeah.
because I was so happy, right? And then I remember when I went into the room was a kit, fishing pole.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was like a little box, uma caixinha of lures.
Mhm.
Lures is how do you say it in Portuguese?
I don't know.
Iscas, artificial lures, and I was amazed. I never seen so much.
Mind blown.
And I love fishing, like, since I was a child. And in Brazil, we always use little bamboo rods, varinha de bambu, right?
Yeah.
And I was so amazed. Oh my! I almost had a heart attack again. In the
And it
house.
became one of your biggest hobbies.
Yeah, biggest hobby.
We live the house we lived in. It was very close to a lake.
Yeah.
Right. There was like a community lake there, and he and my father, you guys would go fishing.
Yeah.
Every weekend, and you'd get like some big catfish, right, and bring them home.
I remember the next day when we woke up. I don't even know if we slept. We probably fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because we were so tired. But I woke up, and I remember the Ademir, they had like a breakfast table, and they made breakfast for us. And on the middle of the breakfast table, there was a bar of Philadelphia cream cheese. Because back then, Philadelphia cream cheese came in a big bar. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
of foil paper, de papel alumínio, and you cut it and you get the cream cheese.
Yeah.
And I put cream cheese with toast, and
You're like heaven.
look what happened.
It's magical.
And magical
like, just
changed
like
my
this.
life. But it was so good. It was amazing.
It's like your body is like 70% cream cheese.
Yeah. I love cream. I love every time I eat cream cheese, I
It's
have
good,
like
it's good.
a memory, like a childhood memory from
Cool.
eating cream cheese.
And it's the same thing with me and marshmallows.
Oh, marshmallow.
The first time I ate those little tiny marshmallows, it was in the United States. I would go bike riding with my dad, and I had this little pink bicycle, and he would take me riding my bike with my little helmet, and he'd always take like a little cup full of marshmallows, so we could eat on the bike ride. It
Yeah.
was very good. It's childhood memories, 100%.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
good. And what about your first day of school? How did you feel? Do you remember anything?
I remembered. I mean, it was nerve wracking.
Mhm.
We got to the U.S. I think was on the end of the year. So it was getting cold.
Mhm.
I think there was only like 2 or 3 months left on the school year, and we didn't go to school right away. So we had like 3 months to get psyched out, and I mean, imagine dream about school and how was it going to be and what
Mhm.
was going to happen. And I remember my first day whenever we began school, uh, I didn't speak any English. I mean, I was living for those 3 months with my brother, my just my parents, people that didn't really speak English,
Mhm.
and I was nerve wracking. It was crazy, and I went into class, and there was one kid. I don't remember his name, but I want to remember his name so bad, that he spoke Spanish,
Mhm.
and he would start communicating, and they thought they put him like
Next to you.
grouped up with me because he spoke Spanish, but I didn't speak Spanish, and I thought they were messing with me. Like, I don't know
Right.
what Spanish. I didn't know what Spanish was.
Right.
Um,
We were kids.
And he'll speak like, and I was like, man, ele tá falando português tudo errado. And I didn't know Spanish, right? And I was like, que língua que é essa? And he was like, I will talk to him. I'll say, look,
I had the same issue.
yeah, he'll be like, oh, it's lunchtime, lunchtime. And I was like, and he'll say it in Spanish, and I'll get more confused. I was like, man, what? These American people are crazy. And then I figured out he was Spanish, and then we noticed that there was a completely different country,
Mhm.
that spoke a language that was similar to Portuguese.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, but it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I remember the first day of school, I was very nervous. I did not like it at all. I did not like the fact I couldn't communicate because it was the first time I had gone to school in my life. I had never gone to school here in Brazil. It was my first time going to school ever. And it was in a country, in a school I didn't understand anybody. So I had the first traumatic experience of going to school for the first time, so being away from my family for the first time, and in a place where I didn't understand people. So I was completely traumatized. But I remember that I had a teacher who spoke Spanish also. I remember her. She spoke Spanish. And she would try to communicate with me, but I was completely lost also. I was like, what is this? What? It's just like you. It's like she's speaking Portuguese all wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with her? Right? And I remember that first day, I needed to go to the bathroom. Like, I really, really needed to go to the bathroom. And I didn't know how to ask where was the bathroom. So I remember the first day of school, like all day, I held in my pee the whole day because I didn't know how to ask where the bathroom was. And I remember there was like a little classroom. It was like a little house, right? There were separate little blocks, and there was no bathroom inside of the class. So you needed to go. The teacher needed to escort you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how to ask to go. And I remember I would see Fabiano in the hallways.
Yeah, we would see each other.
Like we would cross each other near close to lunch, and I was like, "Come back!" Yeah.
Both watery eyes. We
Yeah.
were looking at each other.
What's happening?
What's good?
I cried to go to school for like the first month.
Yeah.
I would cry every single day to go. But slowly we began to learn English and understand more and interact more
Yeah.
and
It was
watching
easy.
cartoons. And I think after the first month or two, it became a lot easier. It became a lot better.
Yeah.
Right. And then slowly we adapted, right?
Yeah, slowly we adapted.
Mhm.
And it got really easy. I mean, after the first 3 months, I mean, then after 3 months, I mean, we spoke English already, and we can at least communicate in English. And it was great because it was natural. Right?
Yeah.
It was natural for us, and it was.
And
it
with
was
each
good.
other too. Till today, we
Yeah.
communicate mostly in English.
Mostly in English, sometimes in Portuguese.
Sometimes in Portuguese, but it feels weird when
Yeah.
we speak to each other in Portuguese. It feels like we're different people.
Yeah.
It feels like we have like a double personality.
Yeah, because throughout our childhood, we spoke in English with one another.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So all of our experience with school was in English, and it's really difficult to translate all this emotion to Portuguese whenever we're talking.
Yeah.
So English is a little bit easier. But the video is already like 15 minutes.
Oh,
so
crazy.
We're gonna stop this video, and if you guys want, tomorrow we can make another video with telling you guys of our school experience.
Yeah.
How was our first month, first, second, and third month in school?
Yeah, different stories maybe about our adolescence or teenage years, right? And if you like the video, then we'll make some more.
All right.
Okay, guys. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.